Hello, today we are going to see the passage of material through rotor spinning. It is based on the open end principle. The open end principle, let me just remind you that it is a it is a concept where the fibers are opened out to the individual level and again collected with the help of a CDM. This is the passage of material. Let us see the parts that are involved. The sliver is fed through the feed roller and a feed plate to the opening roller. The opening roller opens the fiber to the individual level and directs those fibers towards the rotor, where the fibers get collected in the rotor groove. And here we insert the CDN through a draw-off tube and nozzle, and the yarn is simply collected. The twists are inserted because the rotor rotates, which holds the yarn in its groove. So the same diagram we can show in a two-dimensional way in a simple manner in this way, where there's a feed roller and a feed plate, the opening roller, a small opening to take out any amount of trash that is still there, the fibers getting directed towards the rotor and they get collected in the rotor groove where the CDN is also inserted and withdrawn. So this is the video. Fibers are being opened out, as you can see. Fibers are directed into the rotor. Okay, so we have seen the passage. So let us try to understand. There is a term called as a rotor box. So what does this rotor box consist of? Whatever parts we have seen up till now, everything is a part of the rotor box. The sliver funnel that feeds feed roller and the feed plate, the opening roller, the fiber channel that directs the fibers towards the rotor and the draw-off tube and the nozzle. This entire thing is known as a rotor box. So we can see the parts that are involved here: opening roller, feed roller and feed plate, the sliver funnel, and the draw-off tube. This is where how there is an opening. We will see details about this later on in our lectures that we'll go through later on. And this is another view of the rotor. This draw-off tube here, this is going through the vertically through the board, you can see, and this rotor is behind this. So it's actually at right angles. When you see this entire opening roller plane and the plane in which the rotor lies, they are at right angles. So you can see the draw-off tube and the nozzle, the fiber channel and the rotor in this diagram. So we come to the feed section, the sliver feed. A card or a draw frame sliver is fed through the sliver guide via a feed roller and a feed tube. You can see there's a feed roller and a feed tube somewhere here, to a rapidly rotating opening roller. This is the opening roller. The feed table is spring loaded to ensure firm clamping of the slivers. So this is similar to a feed roller and a feed table which is there on the card also. It needs to be, for gripping we need some kind of a load to be applied. Here the spring loading is being used. The rotating teeth of the opening roller combs, what it does is it opens out the fibers to the individual level from the sliver clamped between the feed table and the feed roller. After leaving the rotating opening roller, the fibers are fed to the fiber channel. So this feed section consists of these two things. Even the opening roller is similar um, to the carding, and whatever Licarin is there in the card, it is similar to that. The teeth and all the other specifications would be similar. So drafts in the rotor. So how is drafting done in the rotor, or which are the areas where you can expect the fibers to get drafted, or since we are feeding a sliver here, we want it to come to a fineness of the final yarn that we want. So there's a lot of draft involved here, and so since there are no rollers, which in the conventional method we know that without rollers we are not drafting at any stage, but here there is no drafting rollers or pairs of rollers as you saw in the passage. So how exactly the drafts are taking place? So the first draft that you see is at the opening roller stage and the feed roller, that we just saw. That is the place where the fibers are actually thinned out, and then after that, even the fiber channel. Now this is the fiber channel through which the fibers after opening would be entering, and this fiber channel will direct them towards the rotor. So this is of the converging shape. As you can see, it is thinner here, and this is the mouth. It's a converging shape due to which the fibers and the air get accelerated and therefore gets drafted. This is the second draft. This is second drafting stage through the fiber channel. And the first one was the feed roller and the opening roller stage. And after this, what happens is the partial straightening of the fibers also takes place because we are accelerating the fibers. So the straightening also, this fiber channel helps, and at this stage it happens because of the air current. After this, the third drafting is applied when the fibers arrive at the wall of the rotor. The rotor speed is many times that of the fiber that is entering the area. So this stage of drafting contributes significantly to the fiber orientation. Fibers get well oriented at this stage, since the final straightening takes place as the fiber slides down the rotor wall. Now we will see in detail how this rotor wall is shaped so that the fibers are able to slide down it and they go into the groove. So groove details also we'll see later. And all this happens because of the centrifugal forces that are acting on the fibers, since we know that the rotor would be running at speeds of around 1,70,000 or so, which we saw in the last lecture. So since the high speeds are involved, equally high centrifugal forces will be there which are acting on the fibers in the rotor. So let's see, after the fibers enter the rotor, how does it go further on? So we need to see the rotor and the draft tube. It will be, the fibers will enter and deposit themselves in the groove here. As you can see, this groove shape and all this we will discuss later. The fibers get deposited here, and the CDN is entering through the draft tube here. This is the tube, and this is the small piece which you can see is the nozzle. The details of this nozzle also we will see in the coming lectures. So the fibers are deposited. The yarn has come, as you can see. It is going to rotate over here because it is due to the centrifugal force. It is being held here and in the rotor groove, and it starts collecting the deposited fibers onto itself and getting twisted at the same time, and it has to be just withdrawn. The spun yarn end, that is the seed yarn, emerges from the draft tube and the nozzle into the rotor groove, which is seen here. This end collects the fibers collected in the rotor groove. The freshly formed yarn receives twist due to the rotation of the rotor that holds the yarn outside the nozzle in the groove. As soon as it comes out, this area, this part is being held and rotated like a crank around, and because of this, real twist is inserted into the yarn, which shall flow into the freshly formed fibers to a certain extent, and therefore it gets withdrawn. Fiber transport to the rotor. So how does the fibers get transported to the rotor? Centrifugal forces and a vacuum in the rotor housing case causes the fibers to disengage at a certain point from the opening roller. So what happens is, there are, because of centrifugal forces and vacuum is applied to this rotor box, entire rotor box, and because of this the air will help in disengaging the fibers from the opening roller, and it is helped to move towards fiber channel into the inside wall of the rotor. The vacuum is created by the central fan. There's a central fan which draws the air by suction through small ducts in each rotor housing. This pressure is generated because the rotor box, as we have seen, the entire box, what all parts it consists of, this box is sealed hermetically, means that is basically airtight. It is airtight. Most of the air that is entering from the outside atmosphere, it enters through the trash removal slot, which we shall see later, and a small amount of air also enters through the draw off tube that we just saw. Also, due to the centrifugal force of the opening roller, the impurities carried along with the incoming sliver are expelled through an outlet of the opening roller housing. Fiber collection in the rotor groove. The centrifugal forces in the rapidly rotating rotor causes the fiber to move from the conical rotor wall towards the rotor groove, which as I told you, you shall see in detail later on, and be collected there in the form of a fiber ring. So this is how the fibers are coming through the fiber channel in this direction, and they start getting deposited in the rotor. On an average, you can see the effect of draft here. Only 1 to 5 fibers come out of the fiber channel and are longitudinally oriented in the rotor groove. The rotor is continuously rotating under the stationary fiber channel. Now we must remember that the fiber channel itself is stationary and the rotor is rotating below it. The rotor is continuously rotating under this stationary fiber channel. Therefore, what happens is, there's a continuous fiber deposition, one layer on the previous laid layer. Continuously there is a layer upon layer which is deposited in the rotor groove before it is being collected and withdrawn by this CDN. It takes a few turns, um, and this particular operation of laying of fiber layers one on top of the other is known as back doubling. This term also we shall see in detail later on. So how does a yarn get formed here? If nothing is done, suppose we just let the fibers into the rotor and just leave it there, after some time the fibers will collect there and soon the rotor will be choked. So what we do is, when a spun yarn end, we let it enter through the draw off nozzle into the rotor groove. So it will receive some twist from the rotation outside the nozzle, as we just saw, which then continues into the yarn into the interior of the rotor. To a certain length, the twist enters into the fibers that are deposited. The yarn end is firmly pressed against the wall of the rotor groove and it rotates around its axis. As we saw in the video, it rotates like a crank, it will rotate. As the rotor rotates, it carries the yarn end along with it, and the yarn rotates against the nozzle like a crank, which is seen here. Let us see the yarn continuously twists in the fibers deposited in the rotor groove, assisted by the nozzle. The nozzle is another piece which we shall see in detail. It is an important piece. It helps the rotor groove in depositing as well as withdrawing, which acts as a twist retaining element. New yarn portion is continuously being formed and it is simply needed to be withdrawn. So once this new portions of yarn are continuously formed as the fibers keep entering the rotor, it is just a simple way of just withdrawing the yarn and taking it onto a package. So next we come to the yarn takeoff or winding. Yarn formed in the rotor is continuously taken off by the delivery shaft and the pressure roller through the nozzle and the draw off tube that we just saw, and it will be just wound onto the cross wound package. Between takeoff and package, several sensors are there which control the yarn movement as well as the quality of the yarn, and it initiates the yarn clearing if any pre-selected values are exceeded. You can set the values beyond which, if the yarn deviations are there, then it is corrected also at the same time, and you can get a good quality end package. So we just saw how the yarn quality is checked before it is wound onto the package, and also waxing is done. So both these functions are done before the yarn goes onto the final rotor package. So thank you very much. This is today we have just seen the passage, and further on we'll see details of this passage as we go ahead. Thank you.